Donald Trump is not a smart guy, which isn't necessarily the worst thing. Plenty of people aren't that smart, but you have to know who to trust, who to listen to, and he's also really bad at doing that. So I want to show you a little bit of this little interaction that happened on CNN. A reporter talking about how there was a bit of a circular firing squad and a shakeup inside the Trump circle in the immediate aftermath of the election. So take a look at this.
Learned that last week the president was upset when he found out his campaign was dropping the Arizona lawsuit. So he summoned officials to the Oval Office and campaign officials and lawyers. Rudy Giuliani was on the phone, and I'm told by multiple sources it became very contentious, with Rudy Giuliani accusing the Trump campaign lawyers of lying to the president, even though they had been telling him the truth, that the odds were stacked against him, that he likely would not be able to change the outcome of the election. Rudy called them liars. In response, the deputy campaign manager Justin Clark fired back at him and called him an effing a-hole. This was all unfolding in the Oval Office with the president, the vice president. The next day, Rudy Giuliani was put in charge by President Trump. So he went up, and the Trump campaign lawyers descended, essentially, as it was put to me. And Rudy's strategy here is essentially to go guns a-blazing, fight till the bitter end, and to focus on conspiracy theories. Rudy has been in the president's ear, pushing these conspiracy theories about election software made by the company Dominion and allegedly changing votes. There is no evidence to support this. Dominion's come out to refute it. US government officials have come out to refute it. There have been no cases filed, no evidence shown. But that is really where Rudy's focus is. And I'm told by sources that he's really been pushing that with Trump and making him think that there is a chance if he pushes, with these legal cases.
Okay, so they all lost it in the Oval Office. Go back, everybody, to a week or two ago when Brett Ehrlich and I actually sort of scripted out how it went down in the Oval Office. Turns out we weren't all that off. And this fighting between all of them, the different representatives of different groups of the White House and the Trump campaign, resulted apparently in Trump choosing Giuliani to help coordinate all of this, to be his guy who was gonna secure his second term, which is admittedly a bad idea. And just a couple of days later, it resulted in that Four Seasons total landscaping debacle, one of the funniest things to happen in quite a while. But there is a development. We're gonna turn to it in just 1 second. But Jason, I'm curious about, you've been watching since the election. Rudy has been basically in charge of coordinating all of this. And he is one of the most unstable individuals, I think, in our country right now.
Nail on the head, John. Unstable. That's a nice way of putting it. That's you being kind today on a Tuesday. John, it goes back. Look, it goes back to what I've been saying. Okay, so now people are in Trump's ear, mainly Giuliani, saying conspiracy theories. That when the US government is saying there's no basis for these claims. The software people are saying there's no basis for these claims. Myriad different sources that have an attachment of validity to the election and the election process are saying this is not what happened. Here are the facts. But yet Giuliani, in his unstable mind, is saying, okay, well, look, we have no way to combat this. Let's go with conspiracy theories. Get the F out of here. Ridiculous. And I don't know what more to say about this, John, than what I've said already. It's upsetting, offensive, but pretty comical. It's pretty funny actually now. Now the longer it drags on, the many days and the many weeks it drags on, it's almost becoming a joke. Where are we? Where else can we go? Where else can we go? Like, he lost.
You know where we can go? You want to know where we can go? Rudy Giuliani, who for the past 2 weeks has been sort of coordinating this whole thing, is now assuming direct control. And according to a petition he submitted to the court in Pennsylvania, I, Rudolph William Giuliani, hereby petition the United States District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania to admit me to practice before that court. He is going to be arguing their case in court. And according to Zoe Tillerman, the last time he entered an appearance in federal court was 1992. When he was admittedly a little bit more put together mentally, emotionally, and in terms of blood alcohol content. He is going to be, how many transcripts have we seen over the past few weeks of them having to admit that they have nothing, or the judge saying, then what's your problem? All those things. That was with lawyers who hypothetically were sane and sober. Rudy Giuliani, nobody can predict what's gonna happen when he starts talking and a stenographer is there to track every word. It is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. And again, people are so much more aware, they're so much more involved, and they're so much more present in this election, I think now more than any election in the past, and they're not buying it. They're not buying it. Even people from his base, Trump's base, who I always found to be hyper loyal, super vigilant for the president, are like, wait, hold on, okay, no, bro, like you might want to sit this one out, dude. It's okay. Maybe in 2024, if you're still around, then fine. But yeah, so on a positive note, we wish Giuliani the best.
You feel free for yourself. Speak for yourself, buddy. But anyway, no, he's a terrible guy. He's really, really bad. I did like his appearance in the Borat subsequent movie film. That was good. He's a good actor, but other than that, no, I'm not a fan of him. Now, what is the plan? Because he's out of it, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have some sort of plan. So they are challenging in court some counties allowing voters to cure deficient ballots while others did not. Of course, other counties hypothetically could have, apparently chose not to, because remember, Republicans don't care if people vote or not. Democrats want people to vote. And these are ballots that had some sort of technical error, but were submitted on time, and someone comes in and confirms the information. There's no rational argument for why those votes shouldn't be counted. They're not people that are being made up, they're not dead. It's just they need to fix their signature or something like that. The only reason they don't want them to be counted is because they think that it might help Trump. Bear in mind though, even if every single one of those ballots that needs to be cured and might be or already has been cured, even if all of them were invalidated, that would not let Donald Trump win Pennsylvania. And even if it did, winning Pennsylvania wouldn't let Trump win the election. All of this is a stupid joke with no punchline, but it is leading somewhere, and it's leading to the place that we've been sort of expecting for literally weeks now. Rudy Giuliani, who I guess is predicting he'll lose this lawsuit, which is a good bet because he's gonna, says that losing election lawsuits is part of our plan to get it to the Supreme Court. And they apparently believe that they don't need to win over the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court. They just need to get it to the Supreme Court to, I don't know, invalidate those votes, which again, wouldn't actually give them the state, let alone the Electoral College. I don't know, but I'm not a lawyer. He barely is. I don't know what's gonna happen here.
Punchline, joke, end game. Okay, so people that sit in the Supreme Court, they're not watching TV. They don't know what's going on. They're not hearing what's happening in the world and what's happening in this election. They're like those cogs in a Minority Report. They just float around in water to see that. No, good luck to Rudy Giuliani, because John, there is no way that people. So I had a conversation with my husband about what if Trump magically wins the election? What if okay, listen, in an alternate universe, what happens if they take it up to the top and Trump wins? The amount of protest and violence and just the way our country will be overturned by this is what Cenk would say unconscionable, right? And I don't think Supreme Court wants that. 1, 2, I don't think it's gonna happen. And 3, Trump, his concession is going to have to come sooner than later. And January 20th is going to roll around a lot quicker. I mean, it's going to be here before you know it. What happens then? The Supreme Court's not happy, but those are some of the smartest individuals in the land, the highest court in the land, the smartest individuals in the land. They know what's up. So Giuliani has a fight. And if I was him, he has more yesterdays and tomorrows. I would be spending that time trying to be happy in your life for the remaining days that you have. I know that sounds very ominous and kind of bleak, but hey, it's the truth.
Yeah, and maybe try to patch things up with your family. His daughter is going around writing op-eds about how he's lost his mind. Yeah, I guess everybody gets to choose how they use their days. He's choosing poorly. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.